Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Break It Down. Let's return to the Black Isles and the Hall of the Unseen. Full speed ahead in our fancy new boat. Well, new to us. That's weird. We slow down there. Neat. So we don't trigger the storms anymore because of the floating hangman. Aldis mentioned something about that. But I also wonder if Lord Darren's Voyage allows you to ignore storms as well. So we might be double dipping in that effect. Oh, there's tentacles. I remember those being there. And we can interact with them. Not sure if I'd eat the poultry from a tentacle, but beggars can't be choosers. The door swings open at your approach, almost as if it anticipated your return. Oh, I forgot to swap out my crewmate. That's alright, Seraphine's along for the ride.
Yeah? Right.
Oh, Facina's recommended. Alright, let's backtrack and grab Facina. I really should have checked that as soon as we got the quest. And that does mean we'll have to take some time to level her up and check her equipment. Alright. So that's pretty solid. Probably with better armor. She needs another ring. That's a pretty cool looking robe. And I think it matches her portrait pretty well. John's pledge is always a safe bet. We could do Mask of the Grotto Deep. +2 intellect, +1 power levels for all poison keyword abilities. Oh, and it's purple. Alright, we're gonna rock that regardless. But also, she is a Druid Wizard multi-class, so she has access to a lot of poison. I think she really needs Corrode armor rating. I think because I'm going to use her as a melee character. I don't think that I bought... the Grimoire that had all of Llengrath spells in it. This one has a few of them. Alright, let's not worry about it right now. So she'll keep that. Going to give her a greater area of effect. And some defenses. Keep the belts. How about the gloves? Only 10 charges. More might be better. Okay. I'm happy with what she has equipped. Let's go and level her up. Arcana and Metaphysics. So not too worried about the wizard spells because they depend on the grimoire. I'm going to focus more on the druid side of things. And we want plant, right? Yeah, plant-based spells. Dancing Bolts is always good to have. But let's grab Tinglefoot instead. Stick with the theme. There's quite a few levels to go through. Alright, Wall of Thorns. And rapid casting. Relentless Storm is always good. What does she get over here? A Plague of Insects. Cool. Or maybe Far Casting. She may not need that because she's going to be so close to the front line anyway. Let's do Practice Healer instead. Let's start grabbing some of the healing druid spells. Like Moonwell. Alright, Garden of Life is a plant-based spell. As is Venom Bloom. Grab Far Casting here. Venom Bloom. I do really like Archimere's Capricious Hex, so let's grab that. Well, no. Let's just give her a different grimoire. I still don't think it's worth investing in those spells. Let's grab Relentless Storm since she does have a quarterstaff equipped. So she should always be in position to use it. Rusted Armor is good. Nature's Bounty is good. In fact, all of these are good. Why try and pick an element and stick to it? Let's get Spirit of Decay.
Uh-huh.
And what level is she? 19. Oh, it's a pike. How's a quarterstaff?
Add.
Alright, so I don't want to do one defeated. Let's grab Lord of the Forest here. I swore that I had. A grimoire with more of Llengrath's and transmutation spells. This might be it. Cool.
Someday
All right.
I got it. Uh-huh. Not a problem.
You came as requested. Excellent. I believe the entrance is... Ah, here we are. A moment, if you would.
Man, wish Pallegino wouldn't have left. She's in all the art.
Filthy lying ground stink doesn't play fair. Rolled a 10! Stupid wizard, I rolled 10!
Dropping the dice isn't the same as... what?
As the ground settles, the wizard and the imp exchange a shocked glance. One of the newly sprouted tentacles dances in slow, hypnotic circles over their heads.
That was the biggest one yet! Look at us standing on the fault line of sanity! Hello up there!
The wizard waves up at the tentacle before turning his attention over to you.
Didn't see it come in. Welcome to the Halls Obscured. My friend and I were just passing the time of the game and enjoying these little shake-ups.
We not friends. Stupid wizard is a stupid cheat.
The imp kicks a colorful set of dice across the floor before flapping its wings and crossing the room.
No matter where I go, dim-witted imps and archmagi are always in my shadow.
Hey, there's a familiar face. Weren't you the one who spilled soup in my lap at Archimir's annual gala?
Tane waves at Facina. Tane, didn't I see you in Archimir's scrying pool?
Now that's impressive. They told me you never forgot a face.
Tane points at you and winks.
What are you doing here, Tane? How did you even get in?
She rubs hard at her temples and sighs. I second that. Some of us had to find our way through a labyrinth.
I got in through a hole. That one, right through there. You must have walked straight past it when you were topside.
Tane points over to a collapsed wall and smiles pleasantly.
Isn't this something? I came searching for Maura and got distracted. Don't you just love a good antechamber?
Tane plants his hands on his hips and surveys the area, grinning all the while.
Even if this one has a few embellishments.
He gestures at a patch of writhing flesh stretching across the ceiling. Just what is this place?
I asked myself the same question when I got here. Tentacles, eyeballs, labyrinth? It could be anything. I'd still be dumbfounded if I hadn't learned it all from Maura's own words. Here, she left this behind. I don't think she expected anyone to follow.
Maura's field book. Despite a pervasive dampness, the pages of this notebook separate with ease. Written in Hwana, the text describes a vast subterranean life form of fleshy tendrils and shuttered eyes. The stranger sections refer to establishing a communion with the entity, with the aim of conjuring forth arcane simulacra. Towards the end of the field book, Maura writes, While, the 100 visions, the obscured, the eyeless face, I believe it you who rests within this darkness, the you that once walked the world. Why do you survive yet? Why haven't you awoken? Can he be turned against the dawn stars? Does he not threaten your mysteries? Will you not introduce him to his final dusk? Llengrath thumbs through the book, eyes widening as realization dawns.
She believes we stand atop the body of Wal.
Margaret did mention that the gods once had powerful bodies.
While riding my dragon across the White March, I came across an unimaginably large skeleton. Legend would have us believe it is the fallen form of Abaddon.
And that was confirmed by Andra. She gestures expansively.
The Circle has been speculating on the existence of the gods' bodies ever since.
I also saw Abaddon's remains at the Abbey of the Fallen Moon.
This body is a good deal fresher than Abaddon's.
She snorts and returns to Mara's writings. Her ill humor is short-lived though, for she soon grimaces and meets your eyes again.
We'd believed them all gone. Not just dead, but destroyed by the gods' own hands. Obliterated. This one, it's still alive.
She gulps.
You presume such a thing can even die?
Makes you wonder what has Maura so excited.
Tane considers his surroundings with a thoughtful grin.
Whatever you are thinking, no. We should bury this sanctum before it becomes our tomb.
As nice as it is to take in the scenery, is everyone else thinking what I'm thinking? Huh? I mean, the answer's staring us in the face, literally.
No one understands your manic rambling, Tane. Speak plainly or be quiet.
You want to use the body somehow, don't you?
He gets it.
Tane winks at you.
Look, we have an unconventional problem, and it needs an unconventional solution.
I just had a thought. We have Consul Hout's skull. We're dealing with Archmagi right now, so I'm wondering if he'll have things to say in the dialogue.
I don't think Maura came this far just to hug some tentacles. She wants to wake up Wal's body and send it after Aothas.
Which is a terrible idea. Because then there's another god's body walking around Aora.
Medico, if Maura doesn't get us all killed, Tane surely will.
How do you even know that's what Maura wants?
I have my doubts that a single archmage could exploit a body this amazing for self-interest alone. No, she's gotta have bigger plans. Hasn't our Maura always said that a well-placed tentacle can solve most of life's problems? If she wants to take a swing at the big green guy, who are we to stop her?
It's speculative to assume that Maura even wants to awaken Wal. Doing so would involve meddling in matters far beyond her comprehension.
She taps a finger against her lips, thinking.
Or something she understands all too well. You don't know. Give her some credit, Len.
You give her more than enough for the both of us, and far more than she deserves.
This facility is enormous. Maura could be anywhere.
How about you spearhead our little search party? Len and I will keep an eye on this handsome antechamber where it's safe, or in case she doubles back. Fair warning, when I was poking around, I ran across some creepy librarian types. They were happy to look the other way as long as I didn't disturb their work.
Tane shrugs.
In the meantime, Tane and I will see if we might learn more about Wal's Titan form.
We haven't addressed the imps in the room. So why are there imps in the room?
Why else? To make my life miserable.
You know, I was enjoying their company so much that I never once thought to ask.
Tane squints down at one of the creatures.
Came from stinking Archimir's house. Was told to help stupid Watcher groundmeat.
The imp grimaces and waves disdainfully at you.
You can help us by shutting your mouth. By now, the echo of your screams will have crippled any element of surprise.
Master gave orders to fetid spray. Come talk when ready, eh?
The second imp waves a sheet of ragged parchment over its head like a banner.
Special orders for you too, nasty Facina.
The imp hisses at her. Messina responds by making a rude gesture with both hands.
Brilliantly done. What fluttering marvels they are, imps. Well, question answered then?
Tane returns his attention to you and smiles pleasantly. You're sending me in there alone.
You weren't alone, you brought friends.
Tane smiles at your companions.
We are colleagues. There is a distinction.
Besides, Len and I, our kind don't work well in pairs. We'd probably disagree, separate the party, and get everyone killed.
He shrugs.
More like you'd get us killed.
As long as I get to keep anything that isn't nailed down.
So you're still into plundering old ruins. Sound financial strategy. Keep saving up for that second castle. You'll get there one day.
No matter how Tane whines, Wal's body, if that's what this is, mustn't be awoken. The Deadfire cannot bear another calamity of Aothis' scale.
I concur, and I know Arkemir would agree as well. A single error in judgment could cost us our lives, maybe more.
What happened to your spirit of adventure?
Tane smirks and shakes his head.
Watcher, friend, are we on a first-name basis yet? Call me crazy, but I think you should do whatever feels right. What's the worst that could happen?
These tentacles grow until they consume every island in the Deadfire. We all become mindless thralls in a never-ending tentacle nightmare.
Huh. And you're saying that's the bad outcome, am I right?
Tane strokes his chin and nods.
I would hate to see what he considers the good outcome.
We can continue this debate later. Right now, our chief concern is locating Maura.
She sighs.
Maura could have only gone two places. Up in the archives to the northeast, or down into the collections to the southwest.
How does she know the layout?
Maura's journal suggests she went to the archives first, but that could always be a decoy. I did hear some unpleasant noises coming up from the collections.
Yeah, I think we saw the results of that right there. Tane hugs himself and shivers.
Hope she's okay.
If you'll begin a search of the wings, we'll scour this area for further information.
She nods and turns away.
Something you need? Hey, I got it.
Oh, let's speak with Facina.
Plumbing the hole is obscured. This is no small task.
Facina squints and purses her lips in thought.
Tread lightly, Casita. Nothing I saw in Arkemir's employ suggests that we should hold the circle to its word.
I assume the Circle wouldn't care if this didn't serve their interests somehow.
You assume right. And all the while they will lie to you through their smiles. They will not miss an opportunity to use your power to further their ends, even if it kills you.
Care to elaborate?
Not so long ago, an Adiran village was discovered to be resting on a vein of silver. Conflict erupted between the townsfolk and prospectors who wanted to buy up the land. The Circle sent Kalakoth with some block-headed spell to extract the ore from the ground up. She succeeded in opening a sinkhole that swallowed the town. None of the villagers lingered to protest once their houses were gone. And now the Circle owns half of the jewelry shops in Edir. Does this sound like the work of an honest group?
Thanks for the warning. I had other questions.
Ask me anything, Casita. The worst I will give you is an honest answer.
Facina shrugs. Let's revisit Tane real quick.
Hey, you. Glad we finally get a chance to talk, one-on-one, away from the rest of the rabble.
Tane shoves his hands down his pockets and winks.
I can hear you, Tane. I'm right here.
It's good that we're on the same page with all of this.
He spreads his arms wide to encompass the whole of the antechamber.
You know, wow, and his great big body.
Actually, I haven't decided what to do about it.
Really? Well, here's a little advice from Tane. I would try really, really hard to figure that out. And soon.
He nods.
Between the two of us, I did a little exploring of my own before you showed up.
He talks covering one side of his mouth, though his voice carries across the hall.
You haven't been to the collections yet, have you? It's just down that way. You'll hate it. There's a bunch of different people trapped in there. Lots of kith in some kind of stupor. I think they've been here a long time.
Two extremes. Did it ever occur to you they might be locked up for a reason?
What gives you the impression that this place operates on reason? The prisoners, it's like this place tore out everything that made them them and left a bunch of statues behind. Except statues don't usually shamble around and cry. Take this. It's a spell that should wake the prisoners up again. Just make sure you read it somewhere they'll all hear it.
Tane's Scroll of Righteous Awakening. This parchment is sloppily scrawled with arcane runes, drawings of animals, and practiced versions of Tane's signature. Tane thinks the spell can help the prisoners of the collections get their memories back, provided that the words are read where every prisoner can hear them at once. You just happen to have a unique spell for this occasion.
Amazing, right? Okay, you got me. I took the words from my chaotic orb and moved a few runes and accents around.
He sighs.
Instead of dealing mayhem and fun, the spell blasts people with memories. Perfectly safe.
He winks.
Head west out of this fine antechamber and the collections are right down the stairs. Can't miss it.
But what do the Halls Obscure need with mindless drones?
Maybe they knew too much? Rare information seems to be the currency of this place. I'd suggest that you ask one of the prisoners, but they aren't very talkative.
What exactly does your spell do?
Let me try and put it in terms we both understand. This place has a way of unplugging people's heads and letting the memory stuff drain out. All that stuff kind of blends together. The memory of someone's first kiss gets stuck to the memory of the price of hagfish. My spell gathers the memory stuff into kith-sized chunks and stuffs them back into people's heads. No one leaves with the same memories they came in with, but at least everyone gets an equal slice.
That sounds neither responsible nor wise, even for a circle archmage.
Aloth rubs his temples and sighs.
This sound right to you, Watcher? Shouldn't we be guiding these poor souls towards the light?
Tane wants us all to be as mad as he is.
Basina massages her brow.
Sorry if I got a little technical there.
Doesn't giving people random memories seem irresponsible?
Of course not. See, a brain needs memories like a sewer needs waste. Without the waste, it's all just tunnels. Give it a little time and these prisoners will be their old selves again, just with some extra fun. Maybe someone will wake up and realize they can play the harpsichord or speak Valian. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise, huh?
I'll consider it. No promises.
I hope you can do some good down there. I hate to see so many people without a single good idea between them, you know? Like the Deerwood.
Tane folds his arms and sighs.
The Deerwood has plenty of fine ideas, most involving fire and things you can set on fire.
This guy right here. What a sport.
Tane points at Adair. What do you know about Wile's body?
If there was a day in Wizard College when they talked about god bodies, I might have slept through it. Based on what we've seen, I'd say Maura used this place to nail down her tentacle spells. Lucky her, there's tons of inspiration here.
You really want to awaken the Titan?
What? The prospect of sending a mountain of eyes and tentacles to wrestle Aethys isn't enticing enough for you?
Tane chuckles softly.
Wouldn't it be boring to let a body like that molder and rot? I think we can do better. I think Aora deserves better. Even if it knocks over a castle or two, I think the fun will justify the cost.
Says a wizard who clearly ain't ever had a castle.
How did you become an archmage?
My father donated to all the best colleges. I earned a couple of free degrees until I found something I was actually good at.
Tane is an insult to the very concept of scholarship.
We all learn differently, my handsome friend. I got where I am by focusing on the things I do well and never challenging myself beyond that. Secret to success. I owe a lot to my father, including an apology. He always said he wanted an archmage in the family. Kinda backfired when I dropped the surname. It's just Tane now. Hi.
He smiles. You aren't as academic as your colleagues.
Thank you. Wait, that was a compliment, right? I know I don't fit in with the rest of those book learners, but I've got it where it counts.
He holds his hand over his heart.
Thinking is a big waste of time when you've got raw, unvarnished instinct on your side. If I worried about research, safety, or ethics, I never would have cast the first chaotic orb. You do know about my chaotic orb, right? That's my spell. It was really popular when I got it into circulation.
Easily my favorite of the orb spells.
Ha, see? This one gets it.
Tane glances at Llengrath and points over to you.
I worked really hard on that orb. First time I ever applied myself. Once wizards started using it all over the world, there was all this talk and fanfare. Have you seen this thing? Look at it go! Those were good times. These days, no one asks if I'm that Tane anymore. They don't tell you in Wizard College that achievement can seem downright underwhelming.
Any thoughts about your colleagues in the Circle?
Ringrim doesn't have any friends, but I aim to change that even if it kills me.
Tane winks.
Arkhamir is Arkhamir. I'd be cranky too if I lived all alone in a spooky house.
Always got imps.
Calicoth is great. She once shouted into my face so loud that we both passed out. Bet you didn't know that Consulhot has a sweet tooth. He only gets cranky when his candy dish is low on the good stuff.
I forgot to pull him out.
Isn't Llengrath nice? We squabble, but there's plenty to admire about her. I think we're really starting to bond. Nenagouth keeps a bird skull in his pocket. He pets it when he thinks no one is looking. Don't tell him I told you. Whenever we get the circle together, Maura likes to tickle me under the table. Minoletta loves a good joke, like that time she pushed me into a snake pit. Good fun. Sitzel plays it coy, acts like he doesn't need friends. Can you keep a secret? We've been pen pals for years. He thinks I'm an Orlin who makes clocks. Calicoth is great. She wants...
Alright. Let's swap out for Consulhot real quick. Sorry, Otto. Benched for now. Alright, we'll call it here. Next time we will speak to Llengrath and the Imps. And go from there. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.